What's good, YouTube? This is your boy Rico Spiritual, and I'm coming to you today with an interesting topic that centers around us as people, of course. A lot of you don't realize that life as we know it is not coincidental. It's something that, as you raise your conscious levels, as you become of a higher vibration, which I will teach you and help bring you along my journey of raising my expectations, raising my vibration. You're gonna find that life is more so like the Matrix. What we all have in common is that we're mentally bonded to a specific identity of what we think the world should be structured around, what we think our morals as people should be. In actuality, it's not true. So you say Spiritual Rico, right? What are you talking about? What I'm talking about is it's all mind games. As men, as women, they're mind games. Society pushes hoism upon women, which teaches all women to typically dress, act, and be a hoe. No, you say, what is a hoe? A hoe itself can't be a person. It's a spirit. Some people know it as incubus, succubus, depending on what gender you are. We'll get into that later in the topic. But for the women in particular, it's called succubus. And what society pushes is for a woman to dress with shorts yay high, to show their cleavage, to reveal their body, which is a sacred temple for the eyes of her soulmate. And if you could get majority of women on this earth to demean themselves, to declone them with their identity by making them fit a certain particular way of living, you're going to have a mass of women that are lost. You're going to have a mass of women that are gaining recognition off of this, that are profiting off of this, who don't even realize what they're doing to society. Now, a woman's body is a sacred temple. It's designed to create, produce. Anything that is given to a woman, she makes it 10 times better. She has the power to make it 10 times better or 10 times worse. You give a woman a seed, which is sperm, right? She will multiply it. You give a woman food, she will make a meal. To go on and so on forth to show you why it's important to understand what society is doing to us as men and as women. Women raise our children. They raise our sons, they raise our daughters. No woman is perfect, no man is perfect. But what you have to understand is, if I could get a million girls, if me as a spirit, I'm a demon, I'm an evil spirit, I'm succubus, I'm Jezebel, which are other things I'll go into. I can control the minds of every one of those girls that could corrupt them from attracting their abundance, their prosperity, their idle man. I can change and kill their whole potential inside of their body. That's why we have a lot of a younger generation. We have a lot of us that are unproductive, lack confidence in ourselves, who we spend more time partying, drinking, smoking. Society pushes those things because it makes you spend more time into their realm and their tactics, because it takes you away mentally from what you're designed and put here for. Now, as a woman, you have to understand that the society uses you and controls you as a woman to mentally become a hoe. So that once you think a certain way mentally, your actions are going to follow. Which kills the men. Us men. Our world tells men to constantly release. Everywhere you go, no matter on TV, they're doing it with kids. From the time that we've been programmed. And even now, you see it so freely now to where it can't escape it. Even if you're having kids, or even if you're an adult, or even if you're a kid that's watching this, they constantly push sex. They constantly push sexuality things. You're having on cartoons. You see a kissing scene. You see a sex scene. You see sexual content in things. And as for example, as a man, I'm a man. Everywhere a man goes, it's going to be a group of women who sexually entice him, because those women are mentally hoes. They're being controlled. They've been programmed. So if I could get 15 million women to walk around showing ass, showing cleavage, that will sexually arouse a man, I could kill two birds in one stone. How can I kill two birds in one stone? I just demeaned the woman of her character, her intelligence. I demeaned her temple, which exposed that, which enticed the man to have a lustful spirit. So instead of viewing her body sacredly and appreciate it, he already sees her goodies before that he can even know her as a person. So it's going to create a sense of lust in him, which is going to allow him to treat her so harshly. And it's going to kill him. How's it going to kill him? Slowly, it's going to make him release his seeds, his sperm. What do we have to understand here? What you deposited in a woman, I just takes back to my point I said earlier. A woman produces. As a man, you're a creator, right? You're created, both are created in God's image. All you could go in a man, our ideas, our confidence, our morals, our everything relies in our essence. Okay? The same goes for women in their essence. If you don't know what I mean is, it's a reason why our balls, men, excuse me for my content, it's the reason why our balls are outside our bodies. Because all our power resides into that. We have the ability, for Christ's sake, to create a life from those seeds. So what do you think depicts of a life? What do you have in life? You have ideas. You have brain. You literally create a human force. And a woman gives birth to a human force. So what does that tell you? It all starts with the woman, or it starts with the man. But either way, as men, they want you to have women centered at the center of your attention. They give you the necessary tools to kill you. I'm a person who suffered from that for many years, and we're going to get that into later topics, but I know because I've seen this personal experience. And once I started paying attention to the signs, once I started listening to God a little bit more, listen to that inner voice, because some people may not be followers of God, but they hear voices in their head. You're not crazy. That voice that tells you don't do that, or that voice tells you that you need to do that. Depending on what that voice is telling you that you need to do, if you're hearing voices and you're watching this video, you're hearing, when you do certain things, you hear a voice, you're going to later know as you raise your vibration who that is. Everybody's an entity. Everybody's an entity. What is an entity? An energy. Everything is an energy force. You raise your vibration, you attract whatever you want. Making a woman reveal her temple, her sacred temple, and to destroy her mentally by putting whole content out there, making her dress a certain way. When you dress a certain way, you act a certain way. When you listen to a certain thing, you typically follow that certain thing. So if society constantly paints that, and it takes mass of the women to do it, they will kill the generation. Each generation they'll kill more and more women and men, which will keep you at a low vibration. If you're at a low vibration, you can't attract the abundance that you want. You can't see the signs of the callings of your life when you're at a low vibration. But people and things tend to still come your way to reveal to you what I'm talking about. And I'm quite sure you ran into it, but as we progress and as you continuously listen to me, and it's a lot of people out there that's getting this type of energy out of there, you're going to find that if you're a man who constantly releases sperm, you are being controlled by society and you're at your lowest vibration. It's all a trick to trick the man and woman to be at that lowest vibration. Once a woman reveals her temple, her sacred temple, outside of the man or men that she's dating, once she reveals that, walking out and makes that a way of life, she's demeaned her character. She has killed herself. Once she thinks that's the way to live, the way to attract a man, she's killed. She's brain fried. And society knows that she's at her lowest vibration. If any man that she sleeps with, let's say you have a man who's at a high vibration. Jezebel was once a human, right? She took down, she's known for taking down multiple kingdoms in the Bible. Rich and successful kings who destroyed themselves. She was a very beautiful woman who revealed her temple from what I could see, and she demeaned men. Men praised it and it killed them. She was at her lowest vibration, but she was very convincing. She was very appealing, and she stripped them of that by constantly getting them to release their seed. See, once you have sex, it's the reason why sex is a sacred ritual. Ritual is not something bad, but it's a sacred ritual. It's the reason why. Because if you are a man who's of high value and who is full of success, and you come into a woman, or you have sex with a woman who's on a low vibration and who is being controlled, who's at a lower vibration because of a Ichabus, a succubus, a Jezebel, and all the other sex demonic spirits out there, you are going to fall and your energy is going to swap. When you release that essence, you're giving that essence to the demon, which is taking the form of the woman that you're having sex with. And see, how does it kill two birds at one stone? It takes on the form of the woman. It strips the man of his power. And it leaves the woman with nothing. And it leaves the man with nothing. When she just fed off of both of their essence. Makes sense, huh? It tricks the woman into thinking that she's going to get that power. And really, she becomes the body of that spirit. And any man that comes in contact with her, she's going to go and take him away. She's going to take him away. In upcoming videos, I'm going to give you signs of how you know you are a victim of it. It's clear signs. We just as people, we have to understand it. You have to see it. But that's how society does it. Makes everything sexual. It takes you out of the element of what you are naturally put here for. If we could have man on man, which I have friends who are gay. I have male, and I've had male, and I have female friends who are gay, in which I've had encounters with women that are gay. Encounters mean sexually. So I am in the field to be able to speak on that, to know that if you can have a man making a man, there will be no seeds. There will be no seeds to be carried on. If you can have a woman hunching a woman, there is no reproduction. So that means it leaves the people that are on this earth, they are walking bodies to be destroyed mentally by this bondage, or pushing pornography, pedophile, little girls, enticing, allowing little girls to dress with the short skirts and everything, to entice the man to have a lustful spirit, which demeans the man and destroys the woman in the process. Because anytime the demon takes on the form of the woman and entices that man into lust, it's going to destroy her after, and it's going to destroy him by releasing. Because once he gets addicted to constantly releasing, he loses his confidence. He loses his ideas. For God's sake, you're losing blood, ideas, sweat. You're losing your life force every time you're doing this. And every time a woman who is taken on the force by a spirit has a sex with that man, it hurts her, because emotionally, after a period of time, emotionally, she will start to recognize that's not how it's supposed to be. And then she realized that he doesn't love her, and she gave her body to a man who just wanted her out of lust, and it creates her to be emotionally unstable. And if you keep repeating that cycle over and over and over and over and over again, eventually that woman becomes numb, and eventually it will turn her into her same sex. See, what you have to understand, that everything is centered around mind control. If you control the mind, you can control the human. So it is, you say, what is it? I am a person who's suffered from 3 addictions. 2 of my addictions started when I was 11. One of my addictions have been since I've been sexually active. For one, I am a man who was addicted to watching porn. I am a man who's addicted to jacking off every single day. Those are 2 different addictions who all have a tie into sex. And once I had sex, I lost my virginity at 19. I couldn't keep my penis inside of my pants. And you say, what do you mean? If you know my parents, if you know me, I'm a person where you speak to me, and when you see me, you see my potential. You see everything. You hear what I'm speaking. Like right now, you're like, wow, you're so intellectually different. Okay. But how can you possess those powers and never act it out? Because you're bonded. Once you break free of your bondage, what you're put here for your life purpose is going to come to pass. But you have to break free. And how I was able to break free? Trial and error. My life story, as we progress in this, in my topics and in these videos, you're going to understand that a lot of people perish for the lack of knowledge. Once you get hooked into that knowledge and you buy into it, I bought into it not by somebody telling me. I bought into it through personal experience. I bought into it through confirmations that I prayed for. It didn't happen when I wanted, but when I had my least doubt when I was at my lowest faith, God presented himself to me. And I've had other things in my life that proves that God is real. There's 1,000 things to call to say who God is. If depending on where you are in the world, we all have different customs to glorify him. In every religion, you will find the truth of God. No religion is completely true, but every religion you will find truth, because we're all God's people. And until you as a person all you have to have is a grain of faith of the size of a grain seed, and it will unlock this realm of thinking. Or you may be a person who views the world so differently, but your actions are so earthly. I'm one of those people. That's how I knew something was weird about me. It's not weird, but something was off. Why? The way I see the world, the way I'm talking now is how I see it. But the way I live it, I do earthly shit. And there's a lot of people who view the world a certain way and live it just like I'm living it. That's sign number 1. Pay attention to that. Even if you don't believe in God, nothing, pay attention to that. It's very important. That means you're bonded to earthly things. And my only job as a person is to plant the seed of curiosity to help free my people.